We went to Bolton on the Water yesterday, which I think it turned into about 150k, 150 kilometres, was that 90 odd miles, 94, 95 miles, something like that. So yeah, did that and did it with a client yesterday who texted me before and he was like, look, I'm not going to lie, I don't feel very confident with this. He's never cycled that distance before. He's training for a 70.3 this year. He's done a couple of sprint distance triathlons. So we were like, right, come on, let's just throw ourselves in the mix. Just focus on the one pedal stroke, the next. Go through the process. And he absolutely smashed it, I've got to be fair. He did really, really well. So it's his longest ride ever yesterday. So huge well done. No doubt I'm going to drop him a message in a bit and just see how he's feeling. But no doubt he probably feels like his legs are in the bin. That being said as well, one thing I've noticed with myself on a Monday is that because of that, like longer distance bike ride on a Sunday, it does smash your energy a little bit. So you have to make sure you get an early night Sunday night. And I give myself an extra hour lying today. That helps, but don't get me wrong, I'm still just that little bit burnt, a little bit slow to get into the day. But it doesn't stop me from ticking on through the day. It doesn't stop me from, pushing through and making sure that I get the stuff done. So as I say, it's a big sort of brainstorming session this morning for content, and I'll be just modifying a handful of coaching programs for clients as well, making sure guys are knowing what they're doing this week. Typically Mondays are a good rest day in terms of sort of training sessions for those who are doing triathlon stuff because of the longer distance that they do at weekends. But my other clients who are purely sort of driven by aesthetics or shorter performance stuff like High Rocks is an hour to an hour and 15 minutes of work. So they kick off differently in the week. And then obviously the frameworks around the psychological stuff, the coaching frameworks that I'll put together through that as well. So Monday is Monday's a calibration day. Oh, right. Successful morning and early afternoon so far. I've literally put a lot of things down today on paper. A lot of this stuff is working on the business. So this sort of calibration day is very much like on the business work, whereas the other day is primarily are in the business. So things like coaching sessions, writing and editing, frameworks and stuff. But today, as I say, it's just really good to sort of get it out of my mind and onto paper. And wow, I can feel it. I can feel the intensity of what I've just done. So I'm now just going to finish off. I've just got one more task to complete. Then I'm going to do some sort of low energy tasks like admin stuff, bookings and all that sort of thing. Then, you know what really helps me is this builds up in your mind and you've got so much stuff now floating around. I'm actually going to go to the gym. I like to go to the gym mid to late afternoon just to blow off the steam, if you like. Then I've got a client session later on, and then that's going to be pretty much it for the day. So
we have a lot of calls coming in at the moment. We apologize for the delay in assisting you. Please hold the line.
I have an NHS or hospital unit number, please?
That's brilliant. That's great. Thank you very much. Devastating moment for everyone involved. We're on what looks like a last serving of pre-workout. Arguably, this will have some effect physically, obviously, but there's a psychological component attached to this. I'm just going to pour it all in. The whole psychology of preparing is encapsulated in this drink. Right. Never thought I'd say this, but I will admit there is something that I enjoy about training in an oversized t-shirt. Don't know what it is. Just something feels right about being oversized. I don't know what it is. Granted, I do take it off I ended up with the vest on because I get too hot anyway. But to start with, it's just something just feels right. Whoa. Fucking hell. Good job that weren't heavy. Jesus Christ, that would have ended it then. Oh, you could tell my head wasn't in that. You know what, actually, while I think about it, I'll be brutal with you. This one's a tough one already. We're only doing the first set. And I think, while I think about it, like, I know I'm going to feel after if I don't do it. And there's nothing glamorous in it. There's nothing sexy about it, you know. These are just sessions that you've got to get in my opinion. Because if you're governed by how it feels, then it's going to be up and down and all over the place. But I think one thing to start to think about is your body isn't a battery. Your body's a muscle. Because if you think about it like a battery, you'll just be managing the drain all day. Whereas if you think about it like a muscle, the more I put into this session, the more over a period of time I'm going to get out. Now, yeah, immediately it's going to take some energy off me, but the rebound effect is I will gain more capacity. So the more that you train, the more capacity you get, the more energy that you get. So we've all got the same time, fine, agreed, we all know that one. But energy, you can broaden your energy, you can build capacity for your energy. And unfortunately that's going to happen at the times when you don't sometimes feel like it in the moment, because what's my alternative today? Skip this session, stay at home, recover, recharge. Yes, train tomorrow, but I've missed another opportunity to train today. And training doesn't mean smashing yourself every day either. Like, it's just getting your physiology moving, get your psychology working, like proving to yourself that you can trust yourself to do the things you know you need to do. I think that's probably the bigger narrative of this, but it's not sexy, it's not glamorous, it's just in your standard. Own your standard, that's the bigger message. What I'm going to work towards today is work up to 5 reps, but not to failure. So I'm not going to smash this one completely to failure. I want to have in reserve maybe 2 reps. So, you know, still working fairly heavy. So 25, 50, 7500, 100 kegs, hip thrust. Now arguably, I'm trying to work glutes and hamstrings a little bit more. One, because it's a little bit of a weakness, really over dominant through cycling in the quads. So that's what we're going to lock in for, 5 reps, or 3 to 5 reps. So let's see how 100 kegs feels. And the maxer. Six, 7, yeah, probably that's 5. Probably got 8 in there at failure. So I might just put a smidgen on, like smallest bit. What we're saying, maybe 5 kilos. Right, so what's that saying now? 110, yeah. 3 to 5 reps, good quality reps, not smashing the body to failure. I think that's probably one of my biggest mistakes, if I'm honest with you, working strength stuff. I've always just like smashed the body to pieces. Always because I've just wanted to build muscle, build muscle, but it's going to come at a cost eventually, and it is costing me in cycling a little bit in terms of fitness. So I'd rather build strength, like keep the body strong, glutes, hammies, keep them strong, especially in that position. Posterior chain, if you can protect that, especially in cycling, you're onto a winner. So let's see what this one feels like. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm happy with that. Probably got 8 in there, 8 to 10. So I'll work for 5 on that. I know what you mean, because the lens is massive on it, so it feels like it's in the way. Problem is it's good quality though, isn't it? Yeah. That's happy middle ground, I've got to be fair. Quality on that thing isn't too bad. Just a handheld thing, but yeah, unless you're coming in with time it's like quiet again. Yeah. there we have it. Last client session done now, in the bag, finished, and now I'm just going to sort of debrief the day and sort of prepare for tomorrow, because I'm back in the saddle tomorrow morning. I'm doing a zone 2 ride, just easy endurance for 90 minutes. And then I've got a heavier coaching call day tomorrow, so I'm on calls with clients tomorrow. I'm also going to go and watch 2 of my clients do some open water swimming. These guys are prepping for the Blenheim Palace triathlon. So, again, first time they've been in open water. So, as I say, I'm going to go down and just show my support and just see how they get on. So yeah, that's the agenda for tomorrow. So just on reflection of today, remember that, you know, sessions aren't going to be perfect all the time. Like, as I say, I got through that session today and, you know, I got to the end and I'm really pleased that I did it. I'm really glad that I did it. I looked in the mirror and I was like, yeah, time well spent, all of that, because it's a standard. But in the moment, like, sometimes it just feels like, it's a bit of a grind. But the difference is, it's done, it's in the bag. But bottom line, as I say, it's never always going to feel like you're going to want to do it. But you have to just keep in the back of your head, like, what does your, like, 1 hour version of you from now want you to do? And sometimes when you just see it from that frame of reference, you don't want to get to that point in 1 hour's time after your training session and be like, why didn't I just do it? Why didn't I just do it? I know I was tired and I was a bit deflated. But over time, your training will give you energy back. It will start to broaden that capacity, start to give you the ability to just sustain energy for longer because you're fitter. Thank you for watching this one. As I say, these are just mini drip feed vlogs, and sort of you can see behind the scenes a little bit. And also it's good for me because I get some things come to my mind and I can just dump it into here. But I am going to put some bigger sort of content together the more the days go on, because I can see things unravel as I start this process and continue this process, I should say, with these vlogs. So I'll see you tomorrow.